Hey.
Going out tonight.
Go live. Blimey. Right. Okay.
Okay.
Well, patience paid there. I'm just going to move this out of the way. This is by the way, this is my iPad stand. Yeah. And it's not in the carousel. It's currently in bits. It is. You've got to assemble it. I've not assembled it yet. Okay. So, hello, Marco.
Hello.
Oh, you've gone quiet.
Oh my God.
All right. You're back now.
Okay, so
Was that the mixer? Ah,
maybe.
right. Okay, I'm just going to turn the lights around. Hello to everybody on Amazon Live. Thank you for joining us today. This is Marco in Portugal and Stephen in England. We have been broadcasting together for years, Marco. I have lost sound. Okay, whilst Marco is sorting out his sound, he said a minute, so a minute it is. Welcome to the show. Now, this is lights, camera, action, and you'll get all three of those during the broadcast. You've just seen my lights. You're looking at a Logitech Brio camera at the moment, and we are broadcasting today using OneStream. I can hear Marco, so I'm going to come off solo, and back to the two of us.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yes, loud and clear.
You
We
can
have
hear
sound.
me. So good.
It helped. I mean, we could do sign language, but I mean, that
Well,
doesn't quite work, would it? Yeah. All right. Okay. So where do we begin? That's the question. I mean, we're talking today about desktop and mobile video, and we can talk about any of the topics that are actually shown on this card or this card. We can talk about software. We can talk about. I'm going to ask you start a question for 10. Okay. BeLive and StreamYard. Well, which is your favorite broadcasting platform?
StreamYard.
Right. Okay. Well, mine is BeLive because we're broadcasting from BeLive today. We're both biased. We're both biased.
Yeah.
You've got tight connections with StreamYard. I've got tight connections with BeLive. Okay. Your second favorite broadcasting system?
Maybe Restream.
On that, we can totally agree. You and I have been tracking Restream since April 2020 when it all began. And
Yeah,
they started.
absolutely.
I started off the studio, two people on screen, and we thought, right, we're going to track this. And we then Harper joined us, and now we've got 10 people who broadcast every Wednesday on Restream, and
Yeah,
it is
absolutely.
an excellent platform, isn't it?
Yes, yes, it is. And I started even before because when I got LinkedIn Live, I
Mm-hmm.
needed a platform which allowed me to go live there. And because I bought Restream by kind of by accident on Buzz, oh my God, what's the name of that? AppSumo. I
AppSumo is the
yes,
greatest place in the world.
I I I had this license there. I started using our RTMP key on OBS. Okay,
Yep.
and then I started broadcasting to LinkedIn Live, and then we tried for well, we keep trying Restream, but also I went to StreamYard, and StreamYard it's my main platform. Restream it's my second platform, and I use OBS mostly as a virtual camera because it allows me to do nice and funny and crazy things on screen.
Yep. Totally. And the thing about Restream, when we started tracking them, which is only 16 months ago, they had 3 million users. Yeah, because they'd been in their content delivery network. They were taking your feed and distributing it to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and at that time to your website as well. So they got 3 million users before they started going into having a live studio. And the amazing thing is that they now have 4 million users. So since they introduced the studio, which takes up to 10 people, and you broadcast to multiple destinations depending on the plan that you have. Now, Marco mentioned AppSumo a moment ago. I bought Restream on AppSumo at half price, and when it renews next month, it will still be at half price. So that's absolutely brilliant. And Restream have come on leaps and bounds as Mark and I have been watching them. They've got everything that you require to actually go. There's one thing that's missing though, and that's the ability to show images. Yeah.
Yes, it's not their main thing, unfortunately.
No.
But they have nice features. They evolved a lot since we started that journey, and I started a little bit even before, because as I mentioned, I was needing the key, like to go live on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah.
But yes, this stability, it's a kind of an issue there. Hopefully they will solve it soon.
Well, I think it goes in cycles, doesn't it, from one platform to another, in terms of stability. I mean, we're all looking for stability. When you broadcast on a regular basis, you do need the platform to be reliable and stable, and occasionally just go through glitches. Sometimes it's just growing pains.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you think of the thousands or tens of thousands of broadcasts that take place, they've got to have the servers to actually do it, and occasionally you're going to hit a limit. Now, the other two that we've got on there, you mentioned OBS a moment ago, Marco. OBS Ninja. Now, the difference about OBS Ninja is it is OBS, but it's got its own peer-to-peer network, which means that you can have up to 6 people on screen. And the difference is it's totally free. Everything that Marco talked about in OBS is available in the OBS Ninja version. OBS Ninja, developed by Steve Seguin in Canada at the beginning of March 2020. And it's just going from strength to strength. In fact, so much so that my review of the system is out of date. There is a review on YouTube which tells you all about it. But the big thing about the system is that OBS is free and OBS Ninja is free. So you can just, with the investment of your time, you can go live anywhere. OBS is just a single platform, but you can get a plugin. I'm not trying it myself, but if you treat it as being single platform, either Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, or it also goes to Mixcloud as well. If you're a would-be DJ and you want to play your music and you want it to be licensed, then you can use OBS for that. And just a note, I will be live on Mixcloud tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. in the UK, playing some of the music I didn't play yesterday. I'll tell you about that. Right, and the final entrant on here is something that I've not used, really used. Have you used Haps at all?
Not really. I get some newsletters from them, but I as far as I remember, I've never tried the platform. Shame on me.
Well, the thing is, you can't be everywhere, and as you
Yeah,
say,
absolutely.
you Restream. Haps is again a free system, and it is similar. Well, no, it's quirky. It's not the studio setup that we're actually used to, although they are working on that. But Apps is totally free. It started as a system for journalists, and it's just broadened out now to the general public. Corinda is on it. Eileen is on there as well. I think Guy Cook. So there are several people that we know actually on there. And the only system we've not mentioned so far is Melon. which I quite like. Merlin is from Streamlabs. It is, of all the systems which are plug and play, it is the cheapest. It's $15 a month, as opposed to higher prices from BeLive, StreamYard, and Restream. And I mean, Streamlabs, is that Streamlabs? Yeah, it's been around for ages.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So those are the choices when you're actually broadcasting. You need a studio, and your current choices are one of those six. I would suggest, unless you know of others, Mark.
Well, we have those, but they are not web-based, like vMix, for instance, which is
Yeah,
an amazing platform, but it's a little bit expensive. Even though, for instance, if you want to go serious on live streaming, it pays off. Okay, so it's an investment. It's not anything else. But yes, I think those also Ecamm,
yeah,
but you can only use that on Apple devices.
correct. Yeah, that's the restriction.
But I think the three main players in the field are BeLive, StreamYard, and Restream. Okay,
I agree.
as I mentioned, my favorite one is StreamYard because, as we said, it's really important to be reliable. And till now, StreamYard is the most reliable platform I found. Okay, and also really easy to work with. And BeLive, it's a nice platform. I started my main thing on BeLive, and I think it's still being a nice platform. And Restream as well, as we mentioned, we are following their evolution last almost, well, 1.5 years. So it came with a nice platform as well. So it's up to you. Have in mind, and I think this is important to mention, Stephen, because usually people think, oh, this is expensive, this is expensive, this is expensive. Okay, if you just want to go live to have fun, okay, I understand that this could be expensive. If you go live having in mind that you have a business, this is for sure an investment. Okay, so as you need to buy new shelves to your store, new door, new lights, bringing other uh, new things, new stuff to your physical store, have in mind that your live stream journey should be based on investment as well. Because I like to say this often when I do my shows, and I've been asked to make interviews. It's I'm pretty sure that people won't like to look at your live videos and see a bad image, and even worse, a bad sound. And also, I'm pretty sure that when they look at your live show today, and they will look 6 months later, they don't want to see the same whole thing. They want to see something different, something new, some improvements, some innovations, some things, some new things to look at you and saying, okay, this person is uh, being serious doing this. It's not like, okay, let's because everybody's going live, let's go live as well. No, have in mind, this is an investment. You should evolve. You should make things differently, and you should spend money. Okay, this is something that you should have in mind. It's your business, so if it's your business, you need to invest.
Totally. I mean, you do, and we're going to be talking about some of the software and some of the hardware you should actually
Yes.
invest in today. And we are continually improving. I mean, we improve our camera, which we'll talk about.
Hopefully you're on my side.
Camera, microphone, lighting, green screen, LED lights, which we're
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
talk about in a moment. Do you want to start with the LED lights?
Yes, I can start with LED lights, and I'm gonna make some, and I think it's important to make some context, okay? Because I think you, oh, because the first live we made together, I was on a class. Yes, I was. You were kind of the guest teacher on that class because I was lazy. I wouldn't. So, but I started with the lights I had in my in this on my some studio slash office. Okay, I had a light in the ceiling. Also, I had an IKEA lamp somewhere. Okay, and I started with that, and then I think, okay, now I need to give a little step further, and I bought a kit of soft boxes, green screen with other two backdrops, a black and a white, and the structure to hold it. But then I said, after 2 years, okay, I thought, okay, now I need to give that step further, which is bringing LED lights. And why should we
Right?
have LED lights? Because they will give you more control over the lighting. And lighting at some point of your live show, once, and for me, let's put this prioritized things here. The first
Okay.
most important thing, the content. The
Yes.
most important thing, it's the content, the message you're delivering. The second more important thing, okay, let's put together two things: your
Okay.
computer,
Yeah.
and your audio.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know where to put internet speed, but let's think that by these days this is kind of for granted. Okay, let's hopefully at most of
Yeah.
the household this internet thing, it's guaranteed. And I have a funny story involving at some point Steven without him doesn't know when I was on that Udemy course you recorded, I don't know, maybe 3 years or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the Udemy course about Be Live, and you had at some point this internet speed class. And okay, let me watch this internet speed class.
Yes.
And you were saying, okay, you need to have at least this speed. And you were showing how to make the test with blah blah blah. And I went there, and I hit this go button.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I
And
was having 0.5
right. Half.
megabytes per second
Yeah.
upload speed. Because have in mind, when we talk about live streaming, the only important speed is the upload speed, okay, not the download speed. It doesn't matter if you have 1 gigabyte of download speed if your upload speed it's 1k 52k per second, okay, because it's the important thing. It's how fast your video can go to the internet. So I made
Mm-hmm.
this test and I said, "Oh my God, I was under speed on internet for a while." But this didn't stop me for going live. So have in mind this internet speed. It's something important, okay, but it's not the most important thing, okay. So let's recap: content,
Yes.
audio,
Check.
computer as well, because if you don't
Check.
have a good computer, it won't work because it requires process and everything. So the computer, camera, okay, it's, and then lights. And
Yeah.
if camera it's in the fourth place, lights come in the fourth part and a half, not the fifth.
Okay.
Okay. Because it's really important. So with soft boxes, I didn't have control over the lights. It's just turn on and off, and that's it. Okay. And then I went to find LED lights, because let me show you mine. Let me highlight mine in the carousel so you can take a look if you want. I think I have them over here, these newer RGB LED video lights. Okay. And one of the most amazing things about this is that, okay, let me change my angle. Hopefully this will work. Why it's not working? It should. Well, okay, I
This
can
is
show
live.
you. This is live, yes. So this is the app on my phone where I control my lights. Okay, this is Bluetooth connected. Okay, and I can control everything from here, and they are grouped, my lights. Okay, as you can see here. So I can control the two of them from here. And look, I can control, these are RGB LED lights, so I have these trillions of colors available. Okay, and I can control the color temperature, as you can see. Okay, let me see. As you can see,
Yes, that's changing.
okay, let me turn off the background lights, because this way you can tell easily. I can control the brightness. Okay, as you can see,
Okay, we can see you.
the hue as well. Okay,
Yeah.
and the saturation.
Yes.
Okay, as you can see. Also, I have this circle here where I can control. Let me show you the color as I want.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you can create favorites. Okay, let's think. You have two, three, or even in the same show, you have different sections, and you want to have, for instance, one more dark to generate mystery and something, and the other one you want it to be a little bit brighter. Okay,
Mhm.
you can do this. You can create your favorites. Okay, there's this section here.
Mhm.
Okay,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then for instance, okay, for instance, I was trying here new things, and I want to get back to my favorite setting. I just hit here. Okay, there's this button, apply,
Yes.
and there you go. So
Right.
this is the basic, but you want to go a little bit fancier on your shows. Hmm? You want to bring some, you have this scene
Atmosphere.
option.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can bring this light effects, ambulance, police car, okay, fire truck. You can have this festive scenes,
Mhm.
fireworks, party, okay, and candlelight. And also you have these flashing lights. This is the lightning,
Yeah.
paparazzi. And this happens often to me when I walk on the street, paparazzis everywhere. And also the TV screen. Okay, and also you can adjust the brightness as well. So this is something really, really game changer for me. Okay, because
Mhm.
with these lights I can have more control. And for instance, with soft boxes, if I want to turn on and off lights, I needed to stand and go back, and with this I'm controlling everything from my phone. Okay, easy,
Good.
straightforward, and not expensive. I think it's one of the things about these newer lights is that they are not expensive. Having in mind, again, this is an investment for me.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment they're showing it. They're showing in both our carousels, and in my carousel at the moment they're 9% off at 299.99. But
Yes.
I've got to say, because it's the first time I've seen a demonstration of these. Because I thought you'd just turn the lights off, but you've not. What you've actually got, you've actually got basically a toolkit to control the lighting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely.
love it. I love it. It's going on my wish list. I've got to say that I'm impressed by it. You know, when you see something, you think that is so good.
Yeah,
I'm having a
absolutely.
that is so good moment because I mean, the only thing I can do is this,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and I can go from dark to lighter, and I'm just glad I've got the Brio camera because the Brio camera compensates as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah,
But
good.
this
Yeah.
is, for me, this is something, a game changer as well. Okay, and I don't know if you mind, I and just to finish the lightning
Not,
session on on my
not at
end,
all.
we
The
can talk
stage is
about
good.
the background lights as well. They are not that fancy as the front lights, okay, because they are not that important, okay, but they are also fancy. Let me see. Okay, and they are really they are really affordable, and this is what allows me to have these colors in the background. I think it's a nice way to have a nice background and change it, okay? Because, for instance, I had that here, that fireplace, okay? I'm not allowed it to bring it down, okay? So lights could be a nice way to change your background, okay? You have this remote to control them, okay? Even though you have they come with two remotes, I don't need to, because you can control both of the lights with just one remote. You don't have the same amount of options, okay, as the others, but I think those are enough. You can have a still light, okay, there you go, still light, and you can change to other colors, as you can see. It's a matter of taste, okay? And there you go. You have this here, and you,
Right.
by clicking this will turn, for instance, if I have it here on purple, by clicking in the green, it will be changing till it gets green, okay? Also,
Yeah.
if you want just a normal light, you have here this button in the middle, just there you go, and normal light, okay? And also you have this preset kind of shuffle effects. Let me see if they will want to collaborate with me. Okay, I think somehow. And you have more different. I'm honest, I didn't export the all extent of options here, okay? Because what I want is to have this kind of blue lights there. So, and they are not okay, they are not collaborating because I was not doing it properly, okay? As you can see, this is my favorite background lighting, okay? And that's how it is. Back to you, Stephen.
Good. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's a brilliant approach. And you say you've got great control. You can change every aspect of your lighting whilst you're live. And if you set the presets up beforehand, you can just quickly switch. Say hello to Arnaldo. And Arnaldo, many thanks for watching live. And thank you for following as well.
Hello, Arnaldo. Que tal, querido?
If you are enjoying what we're actually doing on either of our pages, then please do follow, because you then get notifications of our upcoming shows, and we do
Absolutely.
2, 3, or 4 a week, so that's important. The other thing you can do is you can say hello, as Arnaldo did, and we appreciate that too. Now, what I'm going to do is, if Mark will excuse me for a moment, I'm just going to
I can do that.
I'm going to switch Marco's camera off, so you just actually get me on screen. Now, as you can see, the screen behind me, I'm just going to scroll until I get in the carousel, and you can actually see the screen that I'm using. That would be good. It is somewhere. Yep. This is the Logitech reversible green screen. Basically, it comes, you can either get a stand for it, or as I've done, it's actually propped up against the wall. It's quite happy there. It's reversible. One side is green and the other side is blue. So depending on your mood, you can switch between them. But that's not the end of it. I'm going to take my name off, so because you know who we are by now. If I go over here and I show this on screen, okay, you can now see two of me, which is not good. So what I'm going to well, I'd love to be. I could be, actually with most of the systems that Mark and I use now, we could have our external camera, which we'll talk about in a moment. We could have our internal camera as well, and we could have our mobile camera, so you can actually see 3 of us on screen. So, but we're not going to go there. What we're going to do is going to just go to just having me on screen, and you can see the green screen behind me. And this is a piece of software which uses the green screen that's down the carousel at the moment. This is XSplit VCam, created by XSplit Software House, who are well respected. and they've got a new piece of software which we might get a chance to talk about later. We say hello to Chris de Boven.
Hello, Chris.
Hello, Chris, who's joining us from Belgium. And Chris, good to see you. And so this is XSplit Vcam, and this controls my camera feed. I've got the Logitech Brio on top of the monitor in front of me. I've got a large 27-inch widescreen monitor, and that camera feed is coming into here. Now, what happens then is that using the software, which costs you $5 a month to support a brilliant software house, you can actually, I've no light. I can't, my lights go on and off. It's my background that changes. Okay. So this is my favorite background. I can change this background at any time during the broadcast. And this is the background you will see. Now, important thing, why do I have the green screen? Why have I got a Logitech green screen behind me? Okay, let's go back to original. If I don't have a green screen, then what will happen is when I move my 10 fingers about the screen, you'll not see all 10 fingers. You'll get webbing between the fingers. Okay. My acid test of any green screen software is moving your hands about. Yeah. Okay. If when you move your hands, you lose a finger, this is not good. Okay. If you don't have a green screen, you will have a white line going up your face and you will have a halo on your head. That's not good either, because you can tell the difference. This is the difference between a semi-professional and a professional approach. It's the combination of the green screen and the soft lights, softboxes, which make this work. And the thing is that you can change your mood. I dare you, anybody watching now, you're going to smile in a moment. I can predict that you're going to smile. Every time we see a rainbow, we think good thoughts, happy thoughts, unicorn thoughts. So rainbow, you can actually, using the lights that Marco has, which I'm totally impressed by, you can change the mood because he's got the back lights and he's got the front lights. I've got the backdrop and I can change the mood with the backdrop. So I can be anywhere in Germany, for example. If I was doing a show with my partner Angelica, and we were visiting this town, I can show that town as a background. If I was, and I won't do this, I do promise this to everybody, if I was doing a French cookery show, I could have the French, well, I'm not going to do the French cooking. I can do a roast, a decent roast. I can do lasagna. But I could, this would be very, very French, very, very French. Okay. And if I was in a colorful mood, that's it. I mean, I love this one too. You get your favorite backgrounds. In the carousel to the right here, I've got 100 different backgrounds. And I can change the carousel image so that the image that's shown on screen is different. You don't normally see this software. You just see the bit that's surrounding me. So I could change to any of these images and magically be anywhere in the world. Okay, guess where I am now? Okay, now one other thing. When you're choosing a background image, try not to have it light at the top. I've got a picture of Stonehenge and my hair is blowing in the breeze, except there isn't a breeze. It's a non-existent breeze. You've got to be very careful of that. You want to have a dark photo if you want to be successful at this. And just mentioning Angelica, this is Ask Angelica, and this is a shot from season 3, episode 22. But I've got, oh, wait a minute. I'm going to find interesting ones. If I was fundraising for my local church, I could use this one. And because I'm in Live, I can actually place a link and you can actually contribute to the church. I can also play, fingers crossed here, this is live video, anything can go wrong. Bear that in mind. But in a short second or two, I can have a video background. Okay, so it works. I mean, I wouldn't do this throughout a whole show because not only would it distract you, it would distract me. Okay, right. So where do you get the images from? Well, the video one I made earlier. I just want to describe how this works. If I go here, back to me, what happens is that the first stage of this is the background removal. Okay, and I'm going to get a message up warning me, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm playing with fire here. So the background is removed. So there's no background behind me. And then we just slide the photograph in behind me, fingers crossed here. I've broken it. No, I haven't. Okay. We slide the background in behind and that's it. Okay. And that's a background that's going in and out. Let's try another one. Okay. This picture is from London, and it's by our good friend Corinda Marley, and he said, use my photos. So how could I not? And in fact, this is one of my, this we mentioned a moment ago, Chris. This is where Chris lives. This is St. Nicholas in Belgium. And thank you, Chris, for sending me the photo. So you build up a library of photographs, but if you are looking for photographs, and I'm just going to have to remove one of these. I think I'll remove that one. Okay. I can add a background from any media file on my hard drive. I can add a background, which is a YouTube video. So I could have a YouTube video playing in the background. I could use a web page, okay, by keying the web page in. Or I could use Unsplash. And unsplash.com is a website available to everybody. Photographers around the globe send in the best images that they have shot with their cameras. And I can just type in London into the search box. Let me do it properly because that would make more sense. I'm coming up towards the end of this little section. I'm just going to press search. And now I have photographs of London, and I can switch between the photographs. Okay, and get a warning. Okay, I've got too many photographs. Okay, so that is basically, what about combining this with Marco Studio? No, you don't need to though. You'd actually be able to go between one and the other. So this is XSplit VCam, and it's used with the Logitech green screen, which is down in my carousel at the moment. Okay, and at this point, I'm going to switch Marco's camera back on. I'm going to take that off solo and switch Marco's camera back on.
Hello,
yes.
I'm alive.
Oh, back. Right, okay, so I'm going to stay in London for the moment. And yeah, now if you have any questions for Marco or I during this broadcast, then we've done, this is not boasting, this is a fact. Between us, we've done thousands of broadcasts over the years. And if we know the answer, we can tell you straight away. If we don't, then we definitely know somebody who does. So let's hide the XSplit software. So you just got me and Marco back on screen.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
But I do love those lights. Absolutely brilliant. I'm impressed.
Yeah. And also, I have these LED stripes. I don't use them often lately because I have, but I have also a remote, and they have also, as you can see, I'm changing colors. Okay. This is a nice option for you to change your background without needing to make a mortgage. Okay. So this,
Inexpensive.
yeah, absolutely. I think LED stripe, it's around, I don't know, maybe $5 and for, and yes, I think you can have a more entertaining and more attention grabbing live with some interesting lights on your background.
Because the presentation is important. The way you look on screen
Absolutely.
is important, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you start off, I'm just going to do something else at the moment. I just want to illustrate another point about this. If I can get this to work, this may or may not work. This is live. Anything can happen. But I'm going to go here and take my life in my hands. Basically, when we first start broadcasting, we look like this. Yeah. We don't want to appear on screen, so we're small. Yeah. We don't have the confidence to be sat like Marco is now. When you start off, you start like this. But as you do more and more live broadcasts, then you get more and more confident. And as your confidence grows, your actual appearance on screen changes. It's often, well, it's not mentioned often enough. We mentioned, Marco gave a list earlier of the 5 important things, but I want to put a 6th in there. Well, I want to put, this is, you did 1, which is the computer. I want to do a 1A, because one of the most important things in live broadcasting is you. Yeah. If you don't feel confident on camera, then that comes across. I'm sorry, but it does. And if you're nervous, your friends will watch you and support you and love you,
or not.
but
Or not.
but
some may criticize you. Yes.
No, they won't. Constructive. They'll be
Yeah,
constructive.
absolutely. And it's important to it's important, and just and yes, it's really important, this confidence. And it's not okay, it's like everything. Even though some people are born with more confidence, yes, some of them, for instance, I'm a stage animal, okay, and for me this was not a problem. So when I was first asked to join a live stream, I didn't thought for a second. I just say, okay, let bring me to the stage. I'm okay with that. Okay, but and I think Stephen as well. We are exceptions. Okay, most of people, and we know people, they started in a really shy way, and they overcome this shyness and this difficulty of being in front of a camera. And I think one of the first things that you should have in mind is that you're not in front of the camera. Okay, you're in front of your audience, in front of other people. Okay, you can't see them. Okay, it's fair. You can't, most of the times you can listen to them. It's fair, but they are there. If not right now, in a couple of minutes, in a couple of days, in a couple of hours, but some people will watch you. And as I think you're not afraid of talking to people on the street, have in mind it's kind of the same thing here. Okay, and practice. You don't. And one of the things I like to say to people, this is kind of a preach I do, and because usually people think if you want to go live, you have to practice live, and this is kind of a frozen thing, because just by thinking it's in the first time you need to go live, or to practice live you need to go live, it's scaring. I understand that. So that's why I say, okay, you don't need to go live to practice going live. It's like thinking to become a Formula One pilot, you need to drive for the first time a Formula One car. No, you start with karting. And this is the same thing. Okay, have in mind you can practice this interaction with camera, with your cell phone, with your the camera, the built-in camera of your laptop. You can try just recording videos and get used to this. One thing that people usually talk, oh, I don't like to hear my voice, it's awkward, it's terrible, my voice is terrible. Everybody has this feeling, and you won't overcome it. You just get used to it. Okay, because every time I listen to my voice, I think to myself, this doesn't sound like my voice. Who the hell is there? Go away. But
Imposter.
the thing is, you will get used to this. It's kind of part of the game. Okay, so this is really important to practice, and you don't need to go live. For instance, tools like Be Live, like Restream, like StreamYard, they allow you to be in the studio, to look at your camera. Even they allow to go live in a private way, for instance, to YouTube. So record, take a look at that. Hello, Eduardo, how are you? And then you can get used to this feeling, because yes, for some people, I understand this is challenging. It's for me, and and Stephen can share. I allow Stephen to share his opinion as well. For me,
Yeah.
this is the most difficult way to create content, because it's really risky. It's no kind of trapezist without safety net, but it is also an amazing way to interact with your audience. But as I mentioned, you don't need to start live when you're starting. Okay, you can get this practice, get used to it, just by recording videos and then having some practice in dry, safe
Yeah.
environment.
Well, you can create a safer environment, and Chris, thank you for the comment. I'll come to it in a moment. You can create a safer environment. You can create your own safe environment. If you go to Facebook and you create a Facebook group with yourself and a friend, you can go live in the group and your friend can watch. Now, this is a good friend, and they'll give you constructive criticism. They're not going to say point out all your faults. They will actually say the good things that you're doing and the things that could be improved. And so you go live with a friend. If they want to go live as well, then let them have a turn to going live in a private group. Nobody in the world can see it apart from the two of you. You then, once you're happy with that situation, you broadcast a couple of times, invite two more friends in. So there are four of you, and you've got three people who can look at you and say what you're doing right and what you could improve on. Let them have a go at going live, okay? Because everybody wants to have a go, especially in private. And you all then are on the same page. You all know what it feels like to be on camera. You can discuss it constructively. You can help each other. Then you know where I'm going with this. You invite four more friends into a private group. So there are now 8 of you. And you repeat the process until you're confident of speaking in front of 7 of your friends, who will all be, without fail, positive. Finally, invite 8 more friends. So you've got 16 people in the group. Anyone can have a broadcast. You practice your broadcasts, you get the feedback again, and you get to the stage where you're actually comfortable on camera. You want to be on camera. You're excited by being on camera. And this is the best way to create content. This is why you want to do it. You want to do it because you want to get a message out there. It might be about your business. It might be about your charity. It might be about your cause. It might be about your interests. I love country walking, so I've got a show on Amazon Live all about country walking. Okay, I did a show yesterday. I love music. I love being a DJ on Mixcloud. I went live on Amazon Live yesterday, but I couldn't play any music because it's all copyright music. So I did a music show without any music. You can do anything you like once you've got the confidence on camera. Now, you've got 16 people in the private group of friends. Now you're going to go into the big wide world, and you go to your Facebook profile, which can only be seen by your contacts if you wish, and you go live on your Facebook profile, and straight away you've got 15 friends who are there supporting you, commenting and cheering you on. And that's the best start you can get. Mark and I know that if you enjoy doing your first live broadcast, you'll do a second and a third and a fourth. Work up, as Marco said, either do recordings or use the group approach. And that way you can build your confidence before you go out into the big wide world. Okay, and we're going to take a comment from Chris. Marco's back with me. And please, can you make a snippet with this explanation of XSplit VCam, the green screen, the lights? then I can help one of my fellow professor
Students.
students. Yeah, go on, Marco. If you can see it, you can read it.
Okay, I can read it. She needs to buy it to record professional webinar. Thank you so much, Stephen.
Right. Okay, yes, we'll do that. One of the things we can do on Belive. Belive has its. Just a minute. It's just time for a logo, Marco. I don't have a StreamYard logo. I don't know why, but I don't have one. But I do
Okay,
have.
I have it there.
I do have a Belive logo. We're broadcasting from Belive, and I dare say when we next get together with Marco, we'll be on StreamYard. But today we're on Belive.
Okay, no problem.
I was inviting myself there. If you didn't notice.
Okay, okay. Next week.
Right, brilliant. So yeah, when we're on Belive, Belive has an editor. I don't need to leave the Belive webpage to actually edit this video, and I can do snippets or segments of this live broadcast as soon as the broadcast is finished. I can go into the editor. I can find the bit I want just by putting the bookends in place, and then press one button, and I then get delivered to me an MP4 in high definition, because we can broadcast in high definition when we wish. And then I can send it to upload it to YouTube and send the link to Chris. So Chris, thank you very much for the comment, and thank you for putting it onto Facebook, because it's easy to read it and display it on screen. At the moment, we're live on Facebook in two places. We're also live on Amazon Live. We are not yet able to display the comments from Amazon Live. That may come. Who knows? Anything can happen. Right. We've talked about us. We've talked about getting confidence on camera and being able to present ourselves. The next thing we need to talk about, I think, is a camera. Do you want to talk
Yes.
about your camera first?
Well, I can talk about my camera, and I started. Okay, I think now they are working properly. I started with this C920. Okay, it looks a little bit awkward because these lights they kind of confuse the camera. This is one of the most. I think this it steals the live stream standard. If you don't want to go really expensive, and it's plug and play, and it's easy to work, and also it gives you a really decent image, I think. Okay, and okay, it comes with let me highlight it. I think I have it in my carousel, because this for me it's kind of a thing that I like to put every time. So there we go. This is the Logitech C920. It's one of the standards in the live stream, and it's a pretty decent camera, even though it has, I don't know, maybe 10 years or more. It's still a good camera. And have in mind, and this for me, it's something important. I bought this camera maybe 7 years ago, okay, and it still works. Even though now it's not my main camera, I'm still using this camera. And this is something that you should have in mind as well, which is reusing, repurposing your equipment once you get a better one. Okay, you have kind of three options on this. One, it's throw it to the garbage, and when we talk so much about sustainability, it's not the best option. The other one is to sell it, and the last one, but not the least, it's reuse. And I kept this camera because one of the things I do is live show producing, remote production, and I don't need to use my main camera, which is this one. I think it's a little bit better. So I use this with a really inexpensive ring light. Okay, and this is enough for me, because I don't show on camera. Having a pretty decent camera and a pretty decent light, it's more than enough. Okay, so this was the camera I used for, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years as my main camera. Then COVID came, and everybody was looking like crazy for webcams and everything. And the main brands on the photography and filmography field, like Canon, Nikon, Sony, Panasonic, and everything, they came with softwares which allow people to use these kind of cameras as web cameras. Okay, I already have this camera. Let me highlight it in the carousel. I bought it here in Europe, I think. I don't know. I don't know if in UK they have a different name, Stephen, but here in Portugal it's the Canon 700D,
I don't know.
and in the United States they have a different name. It's T5 Rebel T5i. Okay, and this is the camera I'm using with a 18 millimeter lens. Okay, and it's connected just by a cable. Okay, so you don't need to buy a video capture card like this one, which is the Elgato HD60S. Could be a nice option. It gives you a even better image. Okay, but you need to spend around $150 $200 with this. Okay, so with this camera you can save at least for a while. Okay, once you want to upgrade your image, you need to buy a card like this. Also, and this is something that I recommend. Okay, and thank you, Eduardo, for following me. Thank you so much. And one of the things I recommend about at one point is to change, instead of using a webcam plugged by USB, it's to use a DSLR, or even better, a mirrorless camera. Okay, because they allow a really good image. And the thing is, it's like I like to say on my shows when I talk mostly about equipment, there are three things that you want to have control over. One is the light. I already explained and showed how you can do it. The second, it's the microphone, and I think we will talk about this in a while. And the third one, it's the camera. One of the problems of most of the USB webcams, of course, those better ones like Logitech Brio and other like this, you have more control over the webcam. But most of them, you just plug and play. This is easy. Yes, it's straightforward. It's practical, but it doesn't allow you to have much control over the camera. With a DSLR or mirrorless, you have this control. But also, this is important, have in mind, you will get better image. Yes, you have, but you need to buy as well, and this is important, a power supplier. Because if you go live with this kind of camera with a normal battery, you will have, as we like to say here in Portugal, your heart in your hands, because you will never know when you will get out of battery. So you need to buy a dummy battery. It's easy. You just type on Amazon and you will find it. Okay. It's a power supplier directly from the electricity. Okay. It has an adapter. You plug it in the battery compartment, and it will fit perfectly there, because hopefully you will buy a model suitable to your camera model. Okay, and with this you can
Indeed.
go live for, I don't know, I made lives for more than 4 hours, I think, using my DSLR camera without any problem. So have this in mind. You can start with a webcam, but then I recommend going DSLR, or even better, mirrorless, but have in mind that you need to buy other things in order to work. Back to you, Stephen.
Okay, let's change up again. Okay, I was busy typing away then. I'll finish the typing off in a moment, and I'm going to change my background as well. Just a minute. Let's just go that. Let's come to here. I'll go back to the original and go full screen. Well, no, I won't do that. You can actually compare the two cameras. Okay, and then I'll go on about my camera. So that's Marco camera. This is my camera. When you're choosing a camera, you've got the best thing to do, the best thing you can ever do, is to watch somebody else's live broadcast on Amazon Live and look at the quality of the picture. Yeah. After the broadcast, contact the host, producer of the show, and ask them the simple question: which camera are you using? And do you know what? They will tell you.
Absolutely.
Because it's a win-win situation. I mean, you're actually congratulating them on choosing a good camera. So of course they will tell you which camera they're using. And you can't get better than a recommendation. You've got the recommendation of your own eyes because you've seen the quality, and they will tell you why they bought it. Yeah. Now, as Marco said, when we start broadcasting, I'm just going to hide Marco for a moment and bring this in, hopefully. I'm going to show in stream, and this may or may not work. I'm waiting for this to work. Will it work? Just a moment. If I turn that off and turn that off. Okay, I'll get where I want in a minute. Okay. When you start broadcasting, you use your internal camera. This is the camera from my Microsoft Surface Book 2. And it's a pretty darn good camera, but you don't have the same control as I've got with the Logitech Brio, which is over me. Marco talked about Logitech Brio a moment ago. It's down in the carousel, and it is somewhere between. I'm not going to say exactly where, but it's somewhere between the internal camera, which you can see, and the DSLR camera. Okay. Now, in theory, we can actually broadcast out at 4K. The Brio can do 4K, 4,000 pixels or more, 4K, or 1080 or 720. Now, we're broadcasting today in 720, so we're not showing the cameras at their best. Yeah, I'll get rid of the second me because you've seen the camera now. So I'm going to hide that and just come back to me. So hopefully, yes. Okay, that was a bit slow. This is live video. Things will not go perfectly, so do bear with us. Right. Okay. So the Brio, you've got total control over it. You can go to the left, you can go to the right, you can pan in, you can zoom, you can do anything you like. You've got a set of controls. If you own a Logitech camera, no matter which one it is, then go to the Logitech website and download Logitech Capture. This gives you greater control over the camera. This you can change, Marco, you can change anything you like. You can change the brightness, you can change the contrast, you can change the color, you can do, well, there's so many things you can do. I've probably touched on about 20% of them so far, because the Brio camera is USB, it is plug and play. You plug it in either at Mac or Windows, and the camera is recognized straight away. You do not need to make a single adjustment for the camera to work. To improve your understanding of the camera and to get more out of it, then you can actually start doing that. But straight away, just plug it in and play. Simple as that. And I started off like Marco, internal camera first, Logitech C920, and we think that a high percentage of live broadcasting uses C920. A lot of broadcasters now buying the next one that's in the carousel. Sorry, we've got similar carousels. We don't have the same carousel. A lot of people are actually buying Logitech C922X, which is in between the C920 and the Brio in price and in the quality of it. Now, just a thing to bear in mind, we're not being shown at our best today. Do download the Logitech Capture software. We're not being shown at our best today because Amazon Live is at 720p, 720 pixels. If we were broadcasting elsewhere, then we could step that up to 1080 pixels and the clarity of the picture is improved. Okay, but at a cost. When you improve from 720 to 1080, you're sending twice as much video information over the internet. And if the person watching you is on a desktop, unlimited broadband, brilliant. Okay. But if the person watching you is on their mobile phone and they're on a data plan, then you are hurting them in the pocket if you broadcast. You do. We don't think about this. I mean, I had this argument made that basically 720p is user friendly on mobile. I mean, in the UK, I mean, my plan is I can broadcast as much as I want. We'll come back to that in a moment. But if you're on a data plan, then every byte that you download costs you cents. So to be kind, always go out at 720p. As to 4K, certainly Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch ordinarily do not do 4K video, which is, to us, it's ultra high definition. If you think 720 is DVD quality, okay, and then 1080 is HD quality, which is better than DVD, and then 4K is the top of the range we can get at the moment. DSLRs have got 4K. We on the Logitech Brio have got 4K as well. We can't broadcast in 4K. If I just told you 720 to 1080 doubles the data, 1080 to 4K destroys it. Yeah, it's just too much to actually do at the moment. One day we'll be able to broadcast in 4K, but we can't at the moment. So when you're looking for a camera, all you need broadcasting wise is 720 or 1080. 4K is nice, but you won't have much opportunity to use it unless you're recording videos for your own use and playing them back on your own computer. Okay, rant over. I'm coming back now. I'm going to, hopefully, if I press that button, what's going to happen? Do you remember the ejector seat button in the James Bond? Oh, you're going to press that. Okay, right. So that's the cameras, and basically, as I said, if you see a camera, see somebody using a camera, then do ask them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the main reasons we love to come here to Amazon to make our shows, is to share our knowledge and hopefully to help people making wise decisions. And you made a good point about this, and I'm just gonna bring some more things to this, because I think it's really important when we mostly when we are here on Amazon talking, it's to help people to make wise decisions, wise buy. Okay, because for instance, I want to buy a new camera because I want to have a 4K camera. But it's kind of like you buy a Porsche or a Ferrari and you don't have the high roads to go there and take advantage of that. You just have, like we like to say here in Portugal, national roads. Okay, it doesn't make any sense. And also, for instance, I'm going to give my example because I think it's good to show this. One of the things I want to buy, it's a new camera. Okay, but the thing is, to give a step that actually people can notice, I need to buy a kind of 2000 camera. So I'm waiting. Instead of, oh, I need a new camera, let me buy this one because I only have this amount of money. My budget allows me to buy a $1,000 camera. Let me buy it. But the thing is, I will spend $1,000, and most of the people won't notice the difference between a camera I'm using now and this camera I'm talking about. So it doesn't make sense to buy it. It's like, okay, I need to buy a new microphone. Let me buy this one because it's cheap. What's the point? Because if it doesn't make the difference, if it doesn't sound way better than the other one you have, or if it will sound worse, it's even worse, of course. But have this in mind. Don't just go by because you saw someone in the screen with this microphone, or just because it's a newcomer microphone or everything. Okay, if you like the design and if you are a design lover, I can accept that. But if you just buy for the sake of buying, don't do that, please. Okay, because you're wasting money. Have in mind, this again, when we talk about investment, it's how much will you spend and how much it will improve. If there's no kind of balance between what you will improve and what you will spend, don't do it. I think it's really important. For instance, oh, I want to buy this 4K camera to go live. You won't be able to go live with 4K maybe in a couple of years. Okay, or at least people won't be able to watch your 4K live shows in a couple of years. So maybe it doesn't make any sense to spend thousands of dollars with a new camera if this won't bring you a good result. So have this in mind. Be wise when you want to buy something. Back to you.
It is back to me, but I think it should be back to us. Okay, so hopefully if I press this button, I'm going to do that.
Oh, here I am again.
There, we got there. Okay, so we've covered you. We'll cover the computer in another episode of this amazing broadcast. But for the moment, we've covered lights, we've covered cameras, and now, as Marco suggested, we're going to go on to microphones. Marco, as is our tradition, would you like to go first?
Okay, I can talk first. I'm right now. I'm using this Shure MV7. Okay, let me do my disclaimer. I don't know why, and this is something that some people are like this, and I am kind of this kind of person. For instance, I don't know why I loved for a couple of years so far. I loved German cars. Don't ask me why. I don't know why I love Shure microphones. For instance, there's this one which is kind of the standard on the podcasting and live streaming world, which is the SM7B. Okay, and I thought, oh, this microphone it's amazing, but it was kind of unachievable for me because just the microphone it's around $400, and then you have to buy other devices, and the whole package it's more than $500, and I wouldn't want to spend that much. So thankfully Shure came with this smallest brother, the MV7. Okay, which is also a really amazing microphone. Okay, and it has something amazing, even though it's not a cheap microphone. Okay, it was not the microphone I started with this one, which is good to start. Okay, this is the Blue Ice Snowball Ice, sorry. Okay, I made shows when I met Steven. I was doing shows with this microphone. Okay, and it sounds decent. Okay, if you want to start to see to understand how you feel when you're live, if you want to feel if that you like, because it's important. Getting back to the wise decisions and buyings, don't spend too much money buying things if you never made live shows, because for instance at the end you say, oh, this is not for me, I don't like this. What will you do with all that gear? Will you sell them on eBay or something? I don't think it's a wise decision. So I saw this microphone, and this microphone it's good for many reasons. One, it's easy to tell. It's the design. I think it looks great. The second one, it's also really easy to tell. It's how it sounds. And have in mind, audio, it's the most important thing when we do live shows and also live content or recorded video, because people will watch your show if or watch your video if the image it's not that good, but they won't watch it, listen if the sound it's bad. And this is arguably nobody can. This is the truth. So I wanted a microphone. I've seen this one, and it was kind of love at first sight. And one good thing about this microphone that it's not usual on microphones. It's an hybrid microphone, which means that you can use it as let me see, I have the cable here. You can use it as a USB microphone. And again, let's get back to this control thing. USB microphones, you don't have much control over them. But with this one, you can connect this micro USB cable here in the back. Let me try this. We are live. We never know. You can connect this to your computer. And Shure came with a software which allowed to do the job of this kind of device, a mixer. Okay, so you don't need to spend more than $100 buying a mixer, because at the beginning you can use it just with a USB connection. Okay, and the software from Shure to control the microphone. Also, it has, let me show you this LED panel, touch panel. There you go. I need to change the camera. There you go, as you can see here. Okay, and you can control here, you can mute and unmute your microphone. Okay, and also you can control the gain of the microphone, and the gain is the amount of sound he will pick. Okay, it's the amount of sound coming, and also you can control the monitoring, because in the USB you can connect here headphones in the back of the microphone. You can connect here headphones, and you can listen how your microphone is sounding, which is good. Okay, so you can just slide it here. Okay, and you can see it increasing or decreasing. Okay, which is good at the beginning. And then if you want to go a little bit more professional, you need to buy a mixer, and you need to connect it via XLR cable. Okay, this kind of cable, which is the standard on the audio world. Okay, and then it will improve your audio, I think, a lot. Back to you, Stephen.
Back to me. Okay, right. Down in the carousel at the moment is my microphone. And when I was looking for a microphone, I did the same comparison listening as I did when I was looking for a camera. You've been listening throughout this broadcast to Marco's microphone and my microphone. Mine is the Audio Technica one, which is down in the carousel at the moment. If you click link in the carousel, it'll take you to a separate tab in your Chrome browser, or whatever browser you're using, really, and you can find out more technical details on it. Basically, when I was looking for a microphone, I started using the microphone that's on the PC, okay, internal microphone, and then you suddenly realize how tinny that sounds. There's no body to the sound. It just sucks, really. There's sound on even on a Mac, the sound from the internal microphone is not broadcast quality. It isn't. And if you're creating courses for Udemy or recording videos for YouTube, you need a decent microphone. Now, I went through several microphones, one of which was a lapel microphone. Don't forget about the lapel microphone. That is the logical first, and there's one in the carousel course. That is the logical first step from getting away from your inbuilt microphone, is to get a lapel microphone. It fixes on you, plugs into your computer, and it simply works. Now, I used the lapel microphone to record my Udemy courses 4 years ago. I used it that much that the cables wore out eventually, but that was after 3 years. And I was looking for a new microphone, and I listened to a broadcast by Mike, who's a well-known podcaster, and I thought, that is such a rich sound. The bass on, I love bass. Okay, the sound on that is so good. I want to know which microphone Mike is using. So I asked him, and he said, I'm using this model of the Audio Technica. 24 hours later, it was delivered by Amazon, and it's sat on my desk ever since. It's about 3 or 4 feet away from me. It's USB only, and to my mind, I love plug and play, and it just works out the box. take it out of the box, plug it in. That's it. Nothing else to be done. There's probably software with it as well, which I can find out about. But this is the quality of the Audio Technica microphone. You've been able to contrast and compare the microphone that Marco is using and I'm using. I suggest that you take a look at both in the carousel and then make up your mind. Now, with regards to the carousel, if you click on the carousel, then you're taken to the page. The page will have the price on it, same price that you can see in the carousel, and that's the cost to you. And it's simple and straightforward as that. Now, what we do know is that occasionally that in the carousel you've got a special price. If you click it and it's a special price, we will tell you. We know when a microphone has been discounted, and we know just moving in a carousel, the blue snowball, which is in my carousel at the moment, which sort of which Marco mentioned a moment ago, stuck in my words there, is currently 25% off. Okay, and just going through, is there anything else which is discounted today? I'll let you know in a moment, but we'll go back to Marco and me. Just to reiterate what Marco said, really, we will watch grainy video, we'll put up with it. But I have no doubt that if you're listening to my voice now, you might not be on our Amazon live pages, and there is nothing wrong with that. We're the same. You actually, even men can multitask on the internet, and we might be reading a blog post or whatever, reading the news whilst we're listening. Sound is so important if you're going to keep people listening. Okay, and talking of listening, if you cannot hear me, then press the unmute button. Okay, and that's the take on microphones, really. And those are the important parts of a live broadcast. I don't think you could actually say one is more important than the other, could you?
I think audio, having in mind these three things, audio, lights, and camera, I think on the overall audio, it's really important.
Okay.
I think it's better to, and the good thing about this, it's that buying a good microphone, it's cheaper than buying a good camera.
Oh yes, yeah, there is
okay.
that.
Have this in mind as well. Okay, so for instance, buying a USB webcam, and for instance, Elgato came with a new stream with a new camera as well. Okay, which is not that bad, and it's around $200 or $300. So, and by the way, I also have an Audio Technica microphone, as you can see. Let me show you. As you see, it's a wireless lavalier microphone. Okay, I use this for a couple of times here on Amazon because I was doing an unpacking and I needed to move around, and so I use this connected to my mixer. And yes, they are amazing microphones as well. It's an amazing brand, Audio Technica. I think Audio Technica, Shure, Rode, and Samsung, maybe these four brands would be your best option to reliable and good. Blue is also a good brand. Okay, so have in mind, if you want to pick a good microphone, these five brands would be maybe the best options.
Okay. Right. Well, those are the main things in relation to doing live video. The other thing you need to do as well is to practice. Well, not so much practice is to check everything out.
Yeah.
Before every live broadcast you do, or at least once a week, check that everything is working. Check that your camera is working. Check that you're positioned correctly on your camera. Check that your microphone is working and the sound is working. And please do check the software that you're using, whether it's BeLive or StreamYard, Restream or Melon. Do a local recording, yeah, to make sure that everything is set up perfectly. It can save you lots of hassle. One of the biggest problems, I mean, Mark and I interview people, and when you interview somebody, they're new to broadcasting sometimes. You need to give them the confidence to actually talk. The other thing is that they're not used to being on camera, so you've got to settle them down, keep them calm. The other thing you have to do is to do a test the day before to make sure that their equipment is working too, because when there are two of you on screen, both sets of equipment have got to work to the same level. Okay. Right. All good.
Absolutely. And let me highlight something, because lately I've been working as a producer as well. Okay, so I don't show in camera, but I've noticing something, and have in mind that when someone invites you to go to their live show to participate as a speaker on a congress or something, you should have in mind that it's also, besides the trust that people, that organization, it's putting on you, because they trusted you, they believed you, they give you that confidence that you are someone who may bring something important to their audience, and this for me is something really important. Okay, besides that, it's your image that it's on the judgment. Okay,
Oh yeah.
so one of the things that I've been noticed, even though it's not the main things, but some people, they don't take this that serious. Okay, so for instance, if you need to go live, try how, for instance, how to share a screen, have a decent microphone, go to a environment without noise. Okay, test the internet, avoid wireless connection, because it's unstable, and also it's not that fast as wired connection. Okay, because it's important to look good, and in the whole sense of looking good, when you are a speaker, when you go live as a guest, for instance. And Stephen and I both made hundreds of interviews, and most of them with our guests doing the homework. But have this in mind if you're the guest. Okay, just don't go playing like a star, because this won't work for you in the long term. Okay, because if you are invited for someone and you don't do a good work, I think first that person will never invite you again, for sure. And the second thing, people who are looking, they won't invite you as well. So have this in mind. It's really important. Even though it's not your home, it's your job to do a great work as well.
Totally. I totally agree. I'm trying to get back. All right. Okay. It is important because you're only there's a saying, you're only as good as your last broadcast, whether it was on your own channel or on somebody else's channel. People are actually watching, taking notes, and you'd never. The other thing is that you never know who's watching you. Okay.
Absolutely.
And this is
Absolutely.
this is a shout out for Marco and I. If you're a brand and you're watching this broadcast, then we're quite happy to help promote your brand if it's on Amazon.
But we are not in the United States. We are in Europe. Have this in mind.
Yeah, we're in Portugal and England. Okay, now one thing that we can't show you on Amazon because it's not on Amazon, but we did say at the beginning of the show, there's hints, tips, and tricks about live broadcasting. And that one of the things that is important is I've got people moving around in the premises I'm in, broadcasting my home office, and people are moving around, and people are, just want for a better phrase, they're actually going to the bathroom, and noise is off. Okay, noise cancellation is important. Earlier this year, we had to have the roof of our house removed and replaced, which meant scaffolding going up three sides of the house, and then the roofers removing the roof and then laying a new roof. Now, that was noisy, okay? But because I've got Crisp AI installed on my computer, works on Mac and Windows, then people listening to my broadcasts heard nothing of tiles crashing to the floor, of hammers banging, of mallets going, nothing of that. Any sounds that were extraneous to the microphone, I just cut out. So if I was to drop something on the floor now, I'm not going to do it, but if I was to, you wouldn't hear it. In terms of having a high quality sound, you need to remove the background noise in the same way as I removed my background using XSplit. Crisp.ai just simply works out the box. Download it, connect it to your microphone, one click, and then you have a situation where all people are listening to whilst you're live is you and not the noises around you. And back to the two of us.
Really important. And it's easy to use and really effective.
Totally. Right. Do you say I'm coming to your house next week?
Yes.
Right. Okay. We've got a tradition. I start the broadcast. Marco ends the broadcast. Shall we end for today and come back next week at the same time?
Yes, absolutely. It was a pleasure. It was an honor. Thank you so much for those of you who tuned in. Okay. It was a really good experience, and we are happy to share our knowledge. So don't be shy. If you have any question, any doubt, please share it with us in the comments so we can help you, because we love that.
We do.
And next week, 2 p.m. GMT +1, which is UK and Portugal time. 9 a.m. Eastern. We will be back.
We're back with a whole new show, different products in the carousel, different stories to tell. From Wiltshire in England, it's goodbye from me.
And from Viana do Castelo, Portugal, goodbye as well. Bye-bye. See ya.
Bye, everybody. That's a wrap.